What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Shyhammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and I got round 2 of the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is a tournament that I am actually running, and it's my first of many annual Gauntlet tournaments. As you can see in the background, people were playing with the Gauntlets as I took this picture. But the Gauntlet is one of the awards for placing in the Gauntlet. And also, as you can see, there's other plaques there as well. I got round 1, I didn't get a game in because we had an uneven number, and I ended up getting the bye game. So in round 2, the person I actually picked to go in for the bye, or not for the bye, for my round 1 was actually Josh, and I ended up getting paired up with Josh for my first round, because technically the scores are even. So I ended up getting a game in round 2 against his Sylvan Elves. Now I'm going to go over what I brought and what he brought to the table, and let's go over that really quick. Right here, this is actually my Forest Goblins. That's a skirmish tray that I made by myself with a shit ton of cork and everything else and rocks and whatever terrain I could find, random stuff like mushrooms and stuff. I just put it all on there. Fuck it. It's that's my skirmish tray. Those are my Forest Goblins. Check them out. I finished all 20 of them. I was actually kind of proud of it. The only thing I'm missing on it right now is my magnets. I didn't get magnets on them yet, but that's something that's in the works. As you can see, I have one of the Git launchers in the background there, and then I'll get a better picture of the dragon or the wyvern in a minute. This is my Goblin Wolf Raiders over here, 5 of them. And then right behind them, you can see that is a unit of Nasher herd. That's a Nasher herd, about 26 of them, I want to say, 26 or 27 on the Nasher herd. Over here, I have a unit of 29 to 30 cave goblins. They have nets, they have madgets, they have a banner, they have the shaman that's hiding with them somewhere, but you can't see him in this picture. Over here, I have my horde of 38 Orc Edbashers, just common Orc Edbashers. They're not savages. Double hand weapons though, and they have the BSB in the front. You can tell by that giant big red banner. Over here, I have my Dragon Rammer on the left. That is the internet famous Dragon Rammer who won me the Content Team Challenge. And on the right, that is another custom built Git launcher. Over here, I have my Giant, the Behemoth, and he is yeah, basically a giant. That's it. I did take tattoos on him, and if I have a better picture, I'll show you the tattoos. But over here is that Git launcher I was talking about earlier. Over here, hiding in the back, that is a the Splatterer, and also Kabuto the Python. Kabuto the Python is a level 4 Orc Shaman on a boar. He has Lore of Wilderness. My level 2 Goblin Shaman actually has Lore of Shadows. Over here, this is my big boss, War Boss Dread Irontooth with Nidhogg, and he is just a beast. And then over here is the A-Rock, the Arachnarok, the Gargantula, the Ragnarok. Any name you want to call him, that's the name I gave him. Alright, so deal with it. Over here, hiding in this corner, it's the Long Shot with the Skull Splitter Bow. And then, dun dun dun, Evil Ash, you can stop talking shit about his lance because he has the Bane Beast Halberd. It is Chicken Head, King Chicken Head with the Bane Beast Halberd in his hand, that bloody ass weapon. Yeah, that's my army. That's what I brought to the table. Let's go over what Josh has. Josh over here has a unit of Skirmishing Dryads. He also has in the background, you could barely make it out, but he has a unit of, those are Treekin, I want to call them, and they have a BSB. That's the one with the tree in it. The tree is the BSB. Over here, he has a small unit of Fast Cav Elf Ranger guys. I don't know what the hell they are, but basically they're just Fast Cav. Behind him is more Treekin, more Dryads. Over here you can see there's more Skirmishing Dryads. This unit has a branch wraith with them. The other one has a branch wraith with them. And then in the back there's more Treekin. And then far back, you can see in this picture a little bit better, he has 3 eagles in the middle, and then he has 3 Tree Man Ancients. One of them's actually like a level 4. It's his general. I want to say it's the guy right in the middle. That's his general. The 2 on the sides, those are actually just the monsters. So they have a high toughness. They have impaling roots. It's like strength 6, d6 shots plus 2 or something like that. So they're pretty freaking beefy, those guys. As for my magic spells, as you can see here, I got Inner Rage, Curse of the Wildwood, Swarm of Insects, the Redwood Shaft, and that is my attribute, the Wild Hunt. Over here I got Shadow Miasma, Glimpse of the End, and Devouring Darkness. So, as you can see, he started deploying first. Actually, I think I started deploying... I might have deployed my whole... I think I did deploy my whole army first. I'll find out in 2 seconds. If I could see what I'm doing here. No, he ends up finishing first. I deployed like 1 or 2 units, and I was just like, go ahead, let him do what he needs to do, so that way I could kind of figure out where my units need to be. And also I wanted to kind of trick him. As you can see, our terrain had a building right in the middle. And I hate when that happens. I hate when there's a building right in the middle because it splits up the army. And so what I ended up doing, we have flank attack. Okay, so on flank attack, I believe I picked the side, so I ended up taking where I'm getting the sides. He has to take the center, so his center could move up further, but his center is also disrupted by that building. So that was my strategy, more or less. He dropped his army like so. Okay, as you can see, and he has some units on the left, he has some units on the right. You can see there's a small goblin there with a banner. That is the secondary objective. There's 2 banners in the middle of the field. Both of those banners are you have to have enough fortitude around them, or more fortitude than your opponent around them, to earn 10% extra bonus points, victory points. So yeah. Anyways, what I ended up doing, as you can see in this picture over here, is I ended up pushing everybody to the right flank alone, just because I want to keep my guys closer together, keep the generals bubble together, and have an overwhelming force on the one side. The only problem is, as you can see with the Orc horde, that is the tip of the flank. So I ended up putting my Orcs in horde formation, and I kind of squashed my squigs behind them. I should have just, honestly, I should have probably shrunk my Orcs or switched positions, have the squigs up front, and then whatever. As for vanguards, Chickenhead goes ahead and vanguards up this way towards his skirmishers, and then his wolf riders are vanguarding up towards his eagle. Okay, and then it's going to be turn 1. It's his turn. He got the Sylvan Elves turn 1. I let him drop everything because I really wanted to watch what he does, and I have a better shooting advantage anyways. So first off, he's going to go ahead and charge his skirmishers into Chickenhead. I take it. He charges his eagles into my raiders. I take it. I go ahead and I stand and shoot with them. They stand and shoot. They do 1 wound, and then I believe the skirmishers just failed charge. Yeah. His other skirmishers, or actually I don't think, yeah, this was the skirmishers. The other skirmishers, they went into the building and they bunkered in. That's like close to like 18 or 20 of them inside that building right now. And then, as you can see, he moved up his giants this way, or the treemen this way. He ended up moving everybody here. His unit on the in the middle left, that's the unit with his BSB. His fast cav tried to sneak by my Orcs, and they did, and they're gonna go ahead and go straight for my my Nashers. His eagle's chaffing up my Orcs. Magic Face, he got 10 power dice. He's going to start doing his tree singing. So he tree sings, he moves over this forest, he tree sings again, he moves over the forest, and then he tree sings again, and he moves this forest over here. What the hell, man? And that was basically it for his magic. He's going to go to shooting, and shooting, he's going to shoot his big papa over here right into Chickenhead, and gets 3 wounds off, and Chickenhead armor saves all 3. Not a problem. That's Chickenhead for you. He's going to go ahead and shoot the other guy, and the other guy gets 3 more wounds in, and 1 sneaks through. Sneaky, sneaky. That sucks. Over here, these guys are going to go ahead and shoot at my Nashers, and they end up killing off 2 of the Nashers. And then these guys inside the building are going to go ahead and shoot at my Dragon Rammer, and they fail to wound it at all. Over here, close combat, his Eagle kills 1 of my Goblins. I'm like, alright, whatever. My Goblins fail to wound the fucking Eagle. I flee. I fail my check, of course, because they're goblins, and they're going to flee this way. And when they flee this way, they go exactly 9 inches, which is the tip of the frickin' felt, and they're going to fly off the board. And he ends up just running them off. What bullshit is that? But Longshot's over here. He's like, I don't give a rat's ass. I'm going to kill this fucker. And it's going to go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins, turn 1. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. I'm charging, declaring a charge with my Orcs into his Eagle, and I'm charging the whatever those guys are, the fast cav with my Nasher herd, right? He decides he's gonna flee, and I screw up my charge. He flees with both, actually, so I screw up both my charges. I try to redirect with my Orcs right over here to the closest unit, which was his BSB's unit, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to have to take dangerous terrains anyway, but maybe, just maybe, if I could do enough wounds to that unit, I could cause them to flee, because I'll have a charge, I'll have ranks, I have a banner, I have a BSB, and all I have to do is make sure I take out his rank and do enough wounds, right? They're only tough 5, but I am strength 5 on my first round of combat with the Orcs. So I'm just like, or until I lose, I mean. But so I'm just like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and redirect to that. And I'm looking, and if I'm like, shit, man, if I redirect and I fail, if this does not work and I fail, I'm getting countercharged by everything, by his big boss, by his other ents, by his freaking dryads. I am gonna get crushed, and I'm like, shit. And then Chicken Head over here, he was just like, screw these little skirmishers. I'm charging in. He's standing and shoots. Chicken Head's fine, but as you can see, I failed the charge. I was like, thank God I failed the charge. Not only did I fail the charge, I failed it pretty big. I failed it with like a 3. So I was like, alright, cool. And I ended up staying back like you see, and he doesn't have a flank on me. His 2 fleeing units are on the one side blocking that counter charge from his ents on that side. I couldn't ask for a better outcome. It was just a fail charge that I was like, whew, thank God. I moved my A-Rock partially down the hill, so he's kind of on the hill, kind of off the hill. I moved my giant over this way so that way he could help out. I moved Dread closer to the Orc so that way he could help countercharge, and I moved the Dragon Rammer so he could kind of see anybody who's coming that way as well. The Goblins were kind of in a bad spot from the start. They don't really have they have to get closer into combat. The Forest Goblins went in the forest. They're going to take care of that Eagle, no problem. And then over here, Longshot just moved out of range of his guys shooting him with their freaking impaling roots, but he's moving so he can shoot also the Eagle over here. Magic phase, I got a wonderful 4 fucking power dice. Are you kidding me? I always get bad magic when I need good magic. And I'm going to go ahead and do a couple dice onto the Redwood Shaft, and I'm trying to shoot his BSB's unit to weaken him up, so like I said, just start taking out some guys. So I shoot him, it hits, it wounds, it only does 2 wounds. Yeah, that's it. Over here, the Forest Goblins, they throw all their tomahawks at this guy. This guy had no freaking chance against my Forest Gobs. They end up killing him like 8 wounds or some shit. Oh, man. Longshot's going to go ahead and shoot at this guy, and he only does 1 wound. And then my A-Rock, he decides he's going to shoot his web launcher at this unit of dryads over here, and it gets a direct hit and ends up killing. Look at this. Holy shit. He failed a whole bunch of his ward saves, and he ends up killing off like 4 of them or 5 of them or something like that. No, 6 dryads, 1 web launcher. I'm like, alright, great. I'm going to shoot the rest of the guys on top. They fail to wound. Then I'm going to go ahead and shoot the rock or lava, the splatterer, at the same exact target. I'm just like, screw it, let's just keep it going and see what happens. It hits him, but it moves a little bit, drifts a little bit, and ends up killing off 3 of them. That's just great. That's some good shooting there. I'm going to start shooting the Git launchers, and people tell me I need a focus fire, so I start shooting the Git launchers at the same unit. 1 Git launcher hits, does 2 wounds. The other Git launcher drifts off and comes this way and fails to kill off the 1 guy. I think I just rolled like a 1 on the attacks. So I was just like, I took out a good chunk of those dryads, and they're on turn 1. That's great. And that was like his main bunker. That was the main unit of dryads. Over here, Chicken Head ends up killing off 2 of the skirmishers. Skirmishers end up doing 1 fucking wound. I don't understand how in the hell that his strength 4 guys do so much damage to my 2-up armor guys. I have no fucking understanding of that, but he does. He ends up wounding me once. I end up charging, and I did 2 wounds. So I'm up by 3. He ends up doing 1, so I'm up by 2. I think he has a banner, so I'm up by 1, but he fails his leadership check. The BSB's nowhere near around. They're going to run, and I end up chasing him down with Chicken Head. And Chicken Head eats his first victory of the day, killing off a small skirmish unit. And it's going to be turn 2 for the Sylvan Elves. Sylvan Elves turn 2. He's going to go ahead and charge these dryads over at my Forest Goblins over here. And I'm just like, shit. I put the Dragon Rammer right behind him, so if I flee, I'm going to flee through the Dragon Rammer, flee through my Goblins, and flee off the table. So I have to stand there and shoot, and I'm just hoping that he fails his charge. And my stand and shoot, I failed to kill a single one of them. I got a couple poisons. No, I don't got poisons off because it's long range, it's stand and shoot, and it's and they're in the trees. I might have not. I had to check about that up on that, whatever. But anyways, multi-shot. That's what it is. It's multi-shot, long range, and they're in the trees. So I couldn't poison them. I just had to throw a lot of 7s and nothing. Over here, as you can see, he's charging a combo charge with his big treants on the left and his guys on the right. They're going straight for my main bunker, and only one unit gets in. The unit with his BSB actually gets in. Over here, he turns both of his big monsters over around at Chicken Head just to shoot him. And as you can see, he rallied his guys over here. Magic phase, he got 10 power dice. Where's my 10 power dice? I don't get 10 power dice. He's going to go ahead and do tree singing over here, move this tree. He does this because he gets to heal some characters as well with the tribute. He goes ahead and he throws up a couple dice onto the beast within, and it ends up giving him double 6s. So he ends up taking... oh, he doesn't get double 6s. He rolls a couple dice. I ended up using my backlash scroll from Kabuto the Python, and it ends up killing off 2 of the Dryads from his miscast, but that was it. Over here, it's going to start off his shooting phase. Shooting phase, he uses his Rangers or whatever these guys are inside on the fast cav. They end up killing off one of my Nashers. He starts using his Impaling Roots and ends up killing off 5 Nashers. That sucks, man. And he ends up doing his Impaling Roots with his General, and it gets 1 fucking wound through. God damn it, Chicken Head's dead by the General. Ah, man, that sucks, because I needed Chicken Head to go for the guys in the building, too. Ah, that sucks. Over here, his Dryads raped the crap out of my Forest Goblins. I didn't even have anywhere near a chance to even attack back. I had 4 guys left, and they just got their ass kicked. And I was stubborn in the forest, but I had nothing left. And he's gonna overrun. I don't know. I think they might have stuck. I actually think they stuck this round with 4 guys. But holy crap, did he kick the crap out of them? Wow, he just took out like 16 of them. I barely did anything. I think I might have killed 1 or none. I don't know. I only had 4 guys left. I don't even think I got a poison off. Wow, that hurt. That sucks. Over here, he challenges, so I accept with my champ, and he ends up kicking my champ's ass with 2 by 2. He ends up killing, holy crap, 3, 6, 9, like 12 of my guys or so like that. Yeah, roughly around 12 of my guys. That's nuts. I end up doing 1 full kill. That's 3, and that's it. Just 3 wounds. I did shit. And I go ahead and I do my panic check with my BSB right there. And let me see, did I pass? I passed. Wow. I mean, he charged. Oh, I'm steadfast. That's why. I have an extra rank on him. Woo! Holy shit. That is why. Man, that's scary, but he really screwed me up. I can't even combat reform because there's no such thing as combat reforming anymore. It's just pivots. Oh, this is ugly, and I am not in a good position. It's going to go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins turn 2. I'm going to go ahead and charge the Nashers into his fast cav. They're going to flee, of course. Actually, I think they stick theirs to take it. I think he did that on purpose because he thinks I'm frenzied. I'm going to charge a long charge. Okay, check this out. We actually had a debate about this, if it's legal or not. But I'm going to charge Dread into the other Ents over on the other side. And I'm going to go ahead and charge the A-Rock. Technically, I don't think I was able to see the BSB's unit that's attacking my Orcs. Just the way it was angled, because we used the laser pointer and everything. So I end up just saying, screw it, I'm going to go ahead and charge a long charge into his Ents in the background and those trees. Even though I know they're stubborn and everything, between Dread and the A-Rock, they should wipe out that unit, just truthfully. And he's like, you can't even fit, that wall's in the way and whatever. And I'm like, technically, the A-Rock only needs to touch tip to tip on the one guy. And we just went back and forth saying that he couldn't land in the dangerous terrain like that. But we had a second opinion, and they said it was a legal charge. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. A-Rock's charging in. Now, here's the other problem, is the Giant is technically able to declare a charge on the Ents that are attacking my Orcs. The only reason why he cannot declare this charge is because the A-Rock is partially on that hill, and we're saying that the hill is infinitely high, so the giant can't technically see because the A-Rock is in the way of the fucking charge, and there's just no way around it. There's nothing the giant can see that he can charge. Oh, that's like the biggest bullshit I've ever heard. I'm like, this should, oh man, the giant is like perfect right now to get a good flank charge and possibly fuck up that unit, and he just can't. He can't see him. Oh, that's horrible. Ah, man. The Dragon Rammer just decides to charge over here, try to help out these little buddies over on this side, and I take a dangerous train. I end up taking 1 wound, which isn't horrible for charging through forest. Oh, man. And as you can see, this is kind of how everything happens. Now, I go ahead and I figure the Dragon Rammer is going to help ram some guys, probably kill like 4 or 5 or 6 of them. Maybe he's going to stick there in combat. He's not strong enough to kill the Dragon Rammer, hopefully, so through all that armor save. So I'm go ahead and I'm moving my Goblins up. I'm trying to move them so they can throw out some mad gits, and not only that, but I want to get the Shaman closer so I can start slowing down the initiative of the Ents far away. I end up, since the giant couldn't do much, I ended up moving him closer back here, so that way if the Orcs break, the giant can countercharge. And Dread and the A-Rock both get in. That's awesome. That's really good for me. Magic Phase, I get 9 power dice. That's decent. I go ahead and I throw up the Beast Within on these guys. They need some extra strength and toughness, and I get it off. I go ahead and I throw up Glimpse of the End, which is lowering strength. I get it off on double 6s, unfortunately. And he dispels it because he doesn't want to lower his toughness. And then I end up throwing Curse of the Wildwood on these guys over here. I did this just because if they do win combat, they're going to have to overrun. If they overrun, they're going to take some extra wounds. Also, they get -1 to hit my Dragon Rammer. So that all went through. I really needed to lower the initiative, but I didn't get it off. And then Shooting Phase. Shooting Phase, the Mad Gits come out, and they're going to go ahead and go right through the forest, pop out the other side. One dies on the forest, and they end up killing off all my my Goblins, unfortunately. But in the meantime, they did take out 2 of the Dryads, so that's not horrible. Longshot over here finishes off his target, kills off one of the Eagles. He has to pick a new target now. And now, since those Dryads are in combat, my Mad Gits go, and I'm like, well, I need a new target to start shooting at. I'm going to start shooting his General. Screw this. So I go ahead and I shoot the General. One drifts off, hits the building. The other one actually gets the General. The one that hits the building kills off 3 Dryads that are inside. The one that hits the General ends up doing 3 wounds to the General. Good job. Holy shit. The Stone Thrower, the Rock Lava, the Splatterer is going to go ahead and shoot at the General as well. And it ends up hitting him. Oh, no, it doesn't. It drifts and it hits the building, and it only kills off 2 dudes. That sucks. And then, as for close combat over here, holy shit. He ended up killing off my Dragon Rammer. My Dragon Rammer I think only killed like 1 or 2 guys. And he ends up winning combat, and he overruns. That's what it is. And when he overruns right into those Goblins. And I'm like, son of a bitch, man. Oh, I set him up for this too. God damn it. I put the Goblins in the worst possible spot to get overrun. Giving them a flank. That's just horrible. That was just bad. I mean, I can't explain how horrible that is. I mean, you can see it yourself. That's just bad. Over here, the A-Rock eats one of the frickin' Treekin over here. Dread goes, and Dread, I think between the both of them, they only killed off 1 dude. Yeah, it looks like they only killed off 1 dude between the both of them. It was just like, I guess, poor rolling. He did lose combat. He failed to wound either one of them. And he rolls, and of course he's stubborn in the forest, and they're going to stick in there. But, whatever. I'm not too worried about it. I did pass my dangerous trains with Dread for touching the forest. The A-Rock doesn't care about dangerous trains because he's a Strider. And over here, my Squiggies, they end up eating the whole unit of Fast Cap, but they end up losing 4 Squigs in the fight back. Holy shit, man. Over here, my Orcs end up getting 2 wounds on, I think that was his BSB. His BSB ends up doing 2 wounds on my Orcs. My Orcs end up getting crushed, like 5 of them to the guys. They end up killing off, I think, 1 of the guys specifically, and then doing 1 more wound. But I fail big time, And oh, I did get Shadow Miasma off. Look, see, I got Shadow Miasma off on them to lower their initiative. That sucks. That really sucks because I still lose. And he goes ahead and he wins combat. I should be steadfast. I should be steadfast. I don't know why I didn't stick. Huh. I don't know. And I fail combat. I'm going to go ahead and run. And I run. And he chases. And I actually get away, I think. Yeah, it looks like this. So, that really sucks for me. I think it's partially my fault for not noticing that I'm steadfast. I might have been steadfast and still failed the roll twice. I don't remember, though. Let's go into Sylvan Elves turn 3. Sylvan Elves turn 3. He's going to charge. Oh, he didn't overrun. He was gonna, but no, whatever. He charges here into the flank of my cave goblins, and I set that up. I couldn't flee. If I flee, I'm just running off the table, so it didn't really matter. He's going to go ahead and charge over here into my orcs. My orcs run off the table, and then he overruns, or he redirects into my gate launcher. Over here, the Curse of the Wildwood ends up killing off 2 of his guys, and then he ends up moving his eagle over here, just trying to chaff up my my Nashers. He ends up moving his Ents and his giant tree man over there, just in case my guys over there he get countercharged on the following turn. Magic phase, he got 6 power dice. He's gonna go ahead and do tree singing, and that's about. Oh, tree singing ends up doing a thing where it ends up hitting like a close. If he moves the tree onto like a unit that's in that tree, they end up taking hits, D6 hits or something like that. Something like that. I forgot what it is specifically. And he ends up doing it to my A-Rock and ends up doing 1 wound from him. But he does the Beast Within on these guys over here, give them better strength and toughness. And it's going to start off shooting. Shooting phase is Dryads over here. They exited the building, and they end up killing off one of my Madgits. And then he's going to start shooting with his monster over here. His monster ends up hitting and killing a couple of my my Nashers. He ends up killing off 3 of them. That sucks. And close combat, these guys end up just destroying my Git launcher, and then they go ahead and they overrun right into the giant, and the giant really doesn't care. Over here, my nets, I go ahead and I throw the net, and I freaking netted myself. This is just the bad luck with this Cave Goblin unit, and this is partially the reason why I wanted to switch out the Cave Goblin units. Oh man, they netted themselves. I'm the lower strength. He kicks the crap out of them, and for some reason, this is my fault. I'm admitting it, Josh. I hope you're watching this, and I'm going to admit fault to this. I thought this was his skirmishing unit, so I figured he has no ranks on my flank, so I would be steadfast. So I roll the dice and I get a 3. I shouldn't have been steadfast because that was his only unit that was actually a full, like, in-rank unit. I should not have been steadfast. He should have disrupted me and I should have ran. But he definitely killed a good chunk of my guys, like 10 of my guys, and I stuck there for a round of combat. Over here, Dread goes. Dread ends up killing off 1 guy. The A-Rock goes, and the A-Rock ends up killing off 1 guy, or doing 1 more wound. And then he ends up doing nothing back to my general or the A-Rock. He cannot wound him. He's only strength 4. These guys are tough 5 and tough 6, and they have good armor saves. Well, Dread does. A-Rock doesn't. And the A-Rock's only touching 1 of them. So he fails to wound me. He rolls, and his BSB's on the other side, and he fails the roll, and they're going to run. And when they run, the A-Rock chases them, and the A-Rock runs them down. I have Dread sit back. I have Dread turn around facing that giant monster. It's my turn next. And this is the thing, too, is I knew the A-Rock could, because it'll be my turn next. I could have kept chasing him if he needed to keep going. But I really want Dread to take out another unit. He needs to start putting in work because all my big units are gone. My Nashers are dying. My Cave Goblins, as you can see in this picture here, are just getting their asses kicked, and they'll die in a round or 2. And all I really have is a giant and my characters. I have Longshot running around somewhere. I have Dread. I have A-Rock, and I have my 2 war machines that are left. His general's wounded. I have a Maggot out in the middle. So I really need to put something together. So I'm like, what do I need to do to get points? I'm going to have Dread take out that freaking monster over there. He's only a tough 6 monster. I could do it. So I turned Dread towards his monster. It was a big decision. I was kind of thinking, like, should I go for his Dryads? No. Last time I went for his Dryads, his fucking skirmishers killed my general. I'm like, oh god, I can't do that again. So I go ahead and I face him towards the big monster. It's going to go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins turn 3. I'm charging here, and he's like, aha, I could frenzy bait you. And I'm like, these guys aren't frenzied. And he's like, shit. So he took the charge, and whatever. Dread charges in. He's like calling out the wog. He's like, fuck this guy, man. I'm just going in. And as you can see, the A-Rock ended up taking 2 wounds apparently from that fight, but whatever. And they both get in over here. That's awesome. Over here, I think I just moved Longshot up to the top of the hill, and then I move Kabuto out of range of basically everybody, so he can't really get shot at, can't really do much. I really should have rethought this. I think I'm just like out of range of his general, and that was the part of the problem. Is I want to focus fire on his general. His general's at 3 wounds. If I could kill his general, that's a huge chunk of points. Okay, so I do have 1 Git Launcher still alive. I still have the Stone Thrower alive, and I have Longshot and Kabuto still alive that could all shoot at his general. So I really need to take advantage of that, and I think this is the one round I messed up because I put Kabuto just too far from him. Magic Phase, I got 5 power dice. I go ahead and I throw up the Swarm of Insects, and I'm trying to just goad his dice out, and he's like, he kind of knows that, so he lets me go ahead and get it through, and I throw it right at the Dryads, and I think I killed like 1 Dryad. It was nothing. I go ahead and I throw up the Beast Within onto my Nashers, I think, and he dispels it, and that sucks. I really should have just moved Kabuto up and just like 4 or 5 diced the Redwood Shaft onto his general. That's what I honestly should have done. I'm just being honest with you. Shooting phase over here. I'm going to go ahead and shoot the Maggot at the general. Like I said, he ends up doing 1 wound. He ends up doing like 5 wounds, but he ward saved a shit ton of them, and he only gets 1 wound off, and his general is still alive. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Stone Thrower at him, and it ends up drifting far off and ends up hitting the Dryads, which is hilarious. We were just like, what the hell? And it ends up hitting them, and it ends up killing off it ends up wounding 3, but it only gets 1 through the ward save. And that's the thing too, is everything in his army has a ward save, which is just ridiculous. These guys up here, they're going to go ahead and start shooting the web launcher. And this is another mistake I made. I made a huge mistake, because on the turn before, the A-Rock ended up running down the unit. On this turn, I failed to move the A-Rock, and I caught onto it really late. I needed to put the A-Rock in a position to either chaff or be a threat to somebody else, and I totally left him up there, and I didn't do anything. And I was like, Josh is a good sport about it. He let me turn him around and at least shoot. But I mean, that only does so much. I end up hitting this unit over here, and it doesn't even wound, I don't think. Over here, close combat, the giant ends up grabbing the only guy in base contact, which is the BSB, and he ends up grabbing the BSB, doing 1 wound to him. And like, he can't attack for a turn or 2 or something like that, but all his attacks go off, and they end up doing 3 wounds total to my giant. And yeah. Over here, close combat, these guys, they just wiped out my cave goblins, and they're starting to overrun this way towards my Stone Thrower. And then as for Dread versus the Tree Man, Dread ends up going and attacking, and he ends up doing 3 wounds to the Tree Man. The Tree Man goes ahead and attacks Dread, does nothing back. Nidhogg goes, Nidhogg does 1 more wound, and that is it. Oh, he ends up doing 1 wound onto Dread, but Dread doesn't care. He laughs at that 1 wound. And Dread takes his first wound, which Josh thought was wound number 2. As for that's about it over here. We're gonna go to, oh, actually I have a very dark picture over here. The Nashers hitting somebody, doing 1 wound. I can't even see it though. Sorry, that's a bad picture. So we're gonna go to Sylvan Elves turn 4. Sylvan Elves turn 4. He's gonna charge. I think Longshot up here on the hill. I'm expecting he wants me to flee. If I flee, he's gonna redirect into my my Stone Thrower. So I'm just like, you know what? I'll just stand there and stand and shoot. I stand and shoot. I don't even think I killed anybody. He ends up hitting me, and that's gonna suck. Yeah, the Nashers did do 1 wound. It was only 1 wound to the Eagle. That sucks. So he charges in his Treekin over here, and he starts moving his giants over this way. Magic Phase, he got 7 power dice. He's going to go ahead and throw up the Beast Within onto his guy that's fighting Dread. I'm like, go for it. And that's all he really did. He moves his Dryads over here. They start shooting phase, and he ends up doing 1 wound onto my A-Rock. That's kind of fucked up. These guys over here, they're going to start shooting their Impaling Roots at my Splatterer. It doesn't wound, I don't believe. Or I don't think it did wound. It might have killed it outright. Close combat over here, he ends up killing off Longshot. That sucks. And close combat over here, he ends up killing off my Behemoth. That sucks. Over here, my Nashers eat the Eagle, and they fail to kill enough of the Treekin, and the Treekin end up just wiping them out and blowing them up. That sucks. Oh, man. As for close combat with Dread versus the giant Tree Man Ancient, Dread goes and kills him off. He didn't care if he had a higher toughness. Dread was just on fire today. He was just like, I gotta kill people. So Dread has his choice, since he killed them, either turn around and attack those freaking Treekin. They're not stubborn because they're not in the forest, but they will probably have steadfast with 1 rank. Dread's monster is his monstrous cavalry, so he doesn't have a full rank for just being just him. So I decide I could face them. They're going to be tough 5. They're going to be strength 4. I do have like a turn or 2 of combat before anybody gets close to this side. It's an easy charge. Or I could turn around and face those Dryads over there and charge them. And I'm like, and there's not that many Dryads. I could kill them. I could run them down. And it'll give those are more points. They have a branch waif with them and all this stuff. And I'm like, I could do that. So I go ahead and I turn Dread around this way, facing those skirmishers. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. It's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 4, right? I can't do anything with A-Rock. A-Rock is not in the charge range of anybody, and I'm just like, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and charge Dread in. Dread's going to charge in, flies over, and gets to them. He needed like a 9, and he got it. He's in. Good. I'm going to go ahead and move Kabuto over here. I'm trying to get a side flank shot for a Redwood Shaft onto all those Ents over here on this side, or closer to his general and shoot his general, right? That's all I really have. I have the A-Rock, which ended up going inside the woods because I forgot why I went in the woods. But there really wasn't much I could do. He's kind of weakened. His other guys are coming closer. They're going to start shooting at him. I know this. And I'm just hoping to kill his general, more or less, and those Dryads and get points. Okay? I mean, it's still close. I mean, I did wipe out a couple units already. I killed some of his units, even though he's kind of wiping my table right now. Magic phase, I got 6 power dice. Still, again, not a good magic phase. I go ahead and I throw up a couple dice onto Swarm of Insects, and check that out. I got a couple 6s off, and I end up killing off 1 Dryad. And then I go ahead and I throw the rest of my dice onto Redwood Shaft like I wanted to, and he knew it. He dispelled it. He had it up his sleeve, and he knew I was going to pull this card out, and he just stopped me from killing his general. My Git launcher goes, hits him, direct hit, and it only does 1 fucking wound. He's still alive. I think he has like 1 wound remaining. Ah, man. So then this huge debate goes. This huge debate on, is it a legal shot from the Stone Thrower? The Stone Thrower is exactly, as you can see in this picture here. This is actually a very bad picture, but the tape measure stops at 12 inches in like the middle of the Tree Man Ancient. Like the tip of him farthest from our picture, like the top left corner, is at like 12.5 inches, or closer to 13 inches. Can I still shoot his Tree Man Ancient? He's saying no, because the whole model has to fall outside of the 12-inch range. If any part of it's in the 12-inch range, it means it's short range and I can't get it, because the minimum range for the Stone Thrower is 12 inches. But I'm saying if he's outside of 12 inches by any part of the model, I can aim at that part of the model. And we went on about it for a while, and then we just decided, we'll 4, 5, or 6 it, and now he's like, go for it. So I go ahead and I do it, and I get a direct hit, and he fucking ward saves it. Shit! God damn it, his general's gonna live. Ah, man. So, his Branch Wraith goes, attacks Dread, ends up doing 2 wounds to Dread. All his Dryads go, and they get like 6 fucking wounds off. Strength 4, so it's only -1 armor piercing. I'm a 2-up armor. I roll all the dice, and I see 3 1s. I roll all the dice again for his 4-up ward save, and I see a couple 1s. And Dread is dead again to the same fucking skirmishers. I don't even know what to say. There's like this level of frustration that Dread has died to the same unit twice, and they really shouldn't have killed him both times, but they did. What the hell, man? What the flying fuck? God damn, brother, fuck, God. Ah! How is that possible? What the hell, man? Oh, man. He ends up moving towards the flags for the objective points. He gets a bunch of points for that. And that is it, man. I have nothing left in me. Ah, that's brutal. So, honestly, if Dread would have killed off that unit, got an extra flag, got a couple hundred points for the Branch Wraith and a couple hundred points for the unit, the game would have been a lot closer. It would probably been like a 12-8 loss, or 11-9 loss. But after Dread died, Dread's a lot of fucking points. And all I had left on the table was the Rock Lava and half of the A-Rock and Kabuto. He got a 9. Oh no, he actually got. Hold on, I got it over here somewhere. I gotta look this up again. He didn't get that much on me, but he ended up getting a good point on me. He ended up getting a 17. Yeah, a 17-3. So let's see. 17-3 was at least 1,800. So 1,800. If I would have got 400 more points, that would put me at 15-5. That's just from keeping Dread alive. And then if I was to get like another 200 points, it would put me at a 14-6. I would have been at like a 14-6. It was still a loss regardless. Oh man, that was brutal. That was a brutal ending. I think overall my mistakes, A, was not moving the A-Rock when I needed to move the A-Rock. B, I didn't focus those extra couple shots onto his general like I should have. C was just my deployment. I put the Nashers in a bad spot, and this is a learning experience for me. The Nashers are expendable, the Orcs aren't. I should just let the Nashers be the front line. Always. I should let the Nashers be the front line. I don't know why I did the order I did, but I was just trying to be clever. I was like, I got the right flank. I kind of know what's coming. I gave up those Goblins easy. I gave up both Goblins easy, actually. And I gave up my Wolf Riders easy. I gave up a lot of stuff easy. I didn't expect Chicken Head to die the way he died, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And I did not expect Dread to die again to those fucking skirmishers. I was like, no way in hell this is going to happen twice. It happened again. The same way. Oh, that's brutal. As for my MVP, I actually have to give it to the Git launchers. They were just like on point. No, I take it back. I'm sorry. The Git launchers were on point. They didn't kill the general off, which is what they needed to do. I mean, they were accurate as hell. They just didn't kill the general off. And even though he died, I'm giving it to Dread. Dread took out the Treekin. Dread took out the Treekin. Dread took out the giant monster Treeman Ancient, and even though he died to the frickin' skirmishers, the Dryad skirmishers, he would have been the MVP regardless. He was on a mission to just kill and kill and kill and kill. The Giant let me down, of course. The Orcs let me down big time. The Nashers were just they were just outmaneuvered and outdone the whole game. The double horde formation on a small flank was just killing me with the Nashers and the Orcs. And then I just let that game crumble from the beginning. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. It was still a fun game, and it was to be honest, I felt like this was a lot more fair of a game than that last game I had against Josh. So, I think it put me on the ropes. It made me learn a little bit about my opponent, and basically, Josh advances to the next round. He's going to be on the top table against Ian, Ian just had 2 big wins, and then I am going to the bottom against my brother, which is actually kind of funny to me. Yeah, that's about it. We're going to go ahead and I see I lost my train of thought there. Sorry, I'm at work too, so kind of saw something outside. Guys, holy shit! Nobody died in Chicago today. I haven't heard one ambulance this whole report. I just noticed that. Anyways, if you guys have any comments or feedback, leave it in the comment section below. I hope I didn't hit the mute button and you guys didn't hear a goddamn thing on my report, but I'll find out in a minute. But anyways, if you have anything to say, positive or negative about my game, I don't care. Do it. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will be putting up my next video, my Orcs and Goblins versus my brother's Ogres, and that'll be a fun game as well. Besides that, till next time, guys. Peace.